That's 33 Love Child right here on your Classic Metal Show with Fairy Tale. And on the phone with us, Chris, we've got Whiskey. Welcome to the Classic Metal Show, Whiskey.
Welcome. Hey, glad to be here, fellas, man. This is freaking awesome. Thanks for having us.
How awesome is it to be on the Classic Metal Show, Whiskey? Are you a fan?
Dude, it's the biggest freaking thrill of my life right now.
Right now. Well, let me start off, Whiskey. How do you know Bob Nalbandian?
Oh, God. I met him at a gay strip club years and years ago. No, he was, actually, I don't know exactly. I was thinking about that today. I thought, how the fuck did I meet him? And I was in a band called Tainted Souls. We were touring all over Europe and the Americas, and then I don't remember exactly how I met him. He just kind of came into my life, you know, like a boil. And he just appeared, and next thing I know, he's getting me all kinds of gigs with guys from, you know, Megadeth and Jones Hansen from Silver Mountain and stuff, and I was like, wow. So, no, we've been really fast friends for 23, 24 years or something like that now.
Sure. When's the last time you saw Bob?
Oh, God. It was probably about a year and a half ago, I think. He came in to see my band. And I hadn't called him for a long... I mean, we called and talked, and he'd always sent me a birthday card. He's just the best guy ever. And I called him, you know, about 2.5 years ago, and I said, dude, I finally got a band that I'm proud of. And so that's why he recommended me as you guys, because he took me seriously. I mean, I've never called him since the Friedman gig, and so, you know, he's, I think it was about a year, maybe 14 months ago or something, he came in to see the band play, and he's been a, you know, fan ever since, and he's been working with us and trying to help us get where we need to be ever since.
Sure. Well, Whiskey, you mentioned working with Marty in the past. I mean, what for a musician is it difficult to be in a band? I'll put yourself in the same category as like a Miles Kennedy who's playing with Slash now. You know, is it difficult to be in a band where you're just not going to get the attention because of the past, you know, history that the musician that you're playing with has?
I guess the best way to say that is, fuck no.
Okay.
It's awesome. I mean, anytime you get a chance to play with a great, like Friedman or Slash or whatever. I mean, I had an opportunity to audition for Slash back when Snake Pit was forming. Okay. And I had this voicemail on my, you know, back when you had tape voicemails, right?
Right.
And it was like, hey, Slash heard about you, blah, blah, blah. I'd like you to come in and audition, blah, blah, blah. And the phone number is 46, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, my freaking God.
Right.
I could not. I mean, I took that tape into a freaking specialist, tried to figure out what the phone number was. I couldn't get it. So any chance you get, you know, it's like out of the blue. There's this voicemail. Hey, you know, this is the manager for Slash. We'd like you to come in and audition for Snake Pit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, holy shit. And I knew he got it, you know, of course. But so anytime you get a chance to audition or play with a guy, and I basically got that gig, you know, I sent, Bob called me and said, hey, Marty's looking for a singer for his only record with vocals, and I was like, shit, yeah. So I sent him off a CD of some stuff I'd done, and I got the gig out of, like, I don't know, 160 singers or something.
Sure.
So it's an ego boost for one, and then obviously it opens a lot of doors.
Sure. It does, but I guess that's my question is that, especially with the Friedman thing that you did do, people don't know that anybody was in that band except Marty Friedman. I mean, that's just kind of the reality of it is you don't – obviously when you're marketing yourself to the next gig, to the next project, to the next musicians to form your own band, you can always say, yeah, I worked with Marty Friedman. At the same time, average listener that's a Megadeth fan probably couldn't point to you and say, yeah, that's Whiskey on vocals.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't care because I put out a great product with him. It was a pleasure playing with him, and not just him, but Carmen Appice, or Appice, however you want to say the name. Greg Bissonette. You know, I mean, there was a bunch of players I got to play with, so it was like a thrill for me just to work with some of these guys, and that's really nice to put on your resume. So
sure,
who cares?
Right.
You know, and plus we sold over 50,000 records. That was 10 years ago, so I bet we're way over that now. So most cats that you talk to don't get a chance to sell that kind of record, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The very A-listers do. Obviously, that's nothing to them, but you know, it was cool. And I made a few bucks, and, you know, I got some great stories out of it. And,
sure.
You know, if you guys want to hear stories, man, I got stories. You guys were talking with Justin, which, by the way, Justin, if you're listening, dude, I'll do a cover with you.
Oh, there you go. We'll hook you right up, Whiskey. We'll hook you right up there, Whiskey.
But you know, I mean, it's just a pleasure, and it's a thrill, and it's fun, and it opens doors. Like I said, I mean, Bob called me, maybe a month or two after that record came out, and said, "You got a standing old record deal with Roadrunner Records." I think it was. I don't know exactly, but I think it was Roadrunner. Just got to get a band together, and I was like, "Holy crap, really?" And but I had just got this, you know, into a relationship with a woman, and we were just getting ready to have a baby, and I was like, "Oh man!" So it just didn't work out, you know. I mean, enough said. I mean, I had a Beethoven sabbatical there, so I took about 10 years off and just raised some children, you know.
Yeah, well, dude, hold on, though, dude.
Chris,
you had a record deal on the table. You're saying an abortion wasn't on the table?
No, definitely not.
Wow.
I just thought I'd ask. I mean, most people would kill for that record deal. You had the chance to literally do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I was kind of, you know, it opened a lot of doors. I was really kind of on my way, but I couldn't take advantage of it. As a matter of fact, I went out to Friedman's house in Phoenix after that record came out. We were going to do a second one. So I went out and stayed with him and his wife Chihiro, she was Japanese at the time, which was awesome.
She's not Japanese anymore?
Well, she's not Mrs. Friedman anymore.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I thought she was just going through a phase or something.
But it was awesome. I mean, you know, Friedman's got this killer giant house and Mercedes in the car, in the garage and all that stuff, and we're in gold records on the walls and platinums, and I'm working with them, and we're working on the next record, and I don't know, my heart just wasn't in it, because I just knew I was having a baby girl, and I was so excited about it.
How was that for you? Was it very painful, or, you know?
What?
Having the baby girl. You said you were just having a baby girl. I was just
Dude, it was like squirting out of a watermelon out your freaking pee hole. It was freaking hard.
Well, Whiskey, seriously, though, you know, obviously, we're, you know, people in the chat room are counting how many times we use the word obviously, but you worked with Marty Friedman, and, you know, you're in Texas. But first of all, getting to your current project, give us the lowdown on 33 Love Child. What does that mean?
That's a great question. 33 Love Child is actually a song I wrote for my daughter that I was just mentioning. And I have an awesome son, too. I don't want to discount him at all whatsoever, but I wrote this song called 33 Love Child, and it was basically a kind of a tribute back to the old 33 records, right? Back to the old school.
Well, that would be 33 and a third, though.
Right, but I'm not going to call it 33 and a third, dickhead. All right, so I'm going to call it 33. So we shortened it up, artistic license, fuckface, okay? So we got 33, and then I put Love Child, obviously, you know, my daughter's my love child. And so that's basically the title of the band and the title of our album that's coming out March 16th. And it's been a long time coming. I mean, I basically put off my music career because my daughter came and then my son, and I decided to go ahead and put off all this stuff, and then I kind of made a tribute to my children by basically calling this band 33 Love Child. So I'm back out and I'm ready to rock.
Well, I guess I'm trying to put together the 33 and a third speed of a record album and children, putting that together. I'm just trying to figure out, how did you put that together?
It's a slow
Good
grind,
question.
man.
That was a good question. You're going to fucking grind me into the ground until I answer that, aren't you?
You know, an idea had to come from somewhere, and you thought to yourself, man, this would be a great name for a band.
You know what? Here's the deal. Okay, it's a long story, but I'm going to tell you. This guy, my guitar player, Ricky Charles, he wanted to do this song. It's on the record called 33 Love Child. He wanted to do that song and basically do a tribute to the old style records. You know,
okay, I can follow that. I'm at that point. Okay, nostalgia takes over.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid going to the Kmart, picking up an album, taking it home, putting it on the turntable, looking at the jacket, reading all the credits. I love that time in my life. Okay, I got it so far. So go.
All right, so he says, okay, I got this song, so we're playing with it. I go, I cannot come up with any lyrics, basically, that say, you know, I love 33 1/3 records, blah, blah, blah. I like old school music, blah, blah, blah. I miss the jackets. I couldn't come up with any lyrics for that. So I came up with the lyrics for 33 Love Child, which was basically a song, an ode to the teenage angst of life, you know, and I thought, shit, that makes more sense for relevance for today. So that's how we ended up with that. So that's just long and short of it. So if you try to connect 33 1/3 and Love Child together, fuck you. All right, it doesn't work. But basically, 33 Love Child sounded cool as shit for a rock band. So I was like, well, and here's what we did. We actually had the band called Love, Hate, Pain. Okay. We had this guy that was guitar player for the band who was a total a-hole, and he, when we fired him, he took the name with him, even though he didn't make up the name. I did. I had a song from 1996 called Love, Hate, Pain with a band called Tainted Souls, so that's where the name came from. But it was too much of a nightmare. And Nalbandian actually said, you know what, I've seen too many bands fucked up over names, just change the name. So we went and just called it 33 Love Child. That's how we ended up with it.
Now, how come you can say dickhead and you can say fuck you, but when it comes to your former guitarist, you say a-hole? Now, I don't get that.
Dude, only you can make that connection. Now, Bob is right. You're a fucking sick son of a bitch. That's all I can say. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I mean, we really had a problem with this guy. Dude, I got to tell you a story, okay? We're rehearsing. We decided to save a few bucks, so we go rehearse at this guy's house. Right. And I'm not saying who the guy is, so we don't want to get sued, right? So we're rehearsing at this guy's house, and he's just a dick. So he basically almost imploded the band, so we basically left, and I had to get my equipment out of there. I mean, I got $12,000 worth of in-ear monitors, all this shit, right? Nice stuff. Racks and racks of gear. So I want to go over and get the stuff, and the guy calls the cop, or says he calls the cops and tells them he's afraid for his life. This is serious shit. I mean, it's like breaking up with a girlfriend. And I'm like, dude, I just want to come get the equipment. I was afraid he'd sold the equipment. That's how weird this shit went. So that's why I'm saying we just let go of Love, Hate, Pain and went right over to 33 Love Child. It was just too crazy. But
well, dude, obviously you've got the band together, and when you put a band together like this, especially after you've had, you know, success and you've worked with people that, you know, anybody that's in this industry is going to know, how difficult is it to find actual players to you know, that fit what you're doing without them trying to mimic what you did before? Because this is clearly different than what you did with Marty.
Yeah, it's clearly different. I mean, I wasn't looking for anybody to fit a role. I was just looking for good music. And when I found the guy I'm actually working with now, Ricky Charles, who's a guitar player, he was in a band called Splinter from Dallas, and they'd been around 7 years. And I saw their ad on Craigslist. And I just on a lark looked at Craigslist and thought, God, the kids are getting old enough now. Let me see. And I was a single father. I mean, single full-time dad, so I didn't have a lot of free time.
Right.
So I looked up, and I saw this band Splinter, and I listened to to their stuff online, and I went, holy crap, these guys are talented. So I go into the band, and I go to audition, and I learned 5 songs off their record. They had a new record out. I learned 5 songs to the T. I mean, nailed it. I went in and auditioned and everything, and so they hired me, and I got into this band called Splinter, and everything's honky-dory. We played one gig back in 2010, and at the Risley Theater, and it wasn't 2 months later the whole band had imploded, because what I brought to the band was marketing, ideas, drive. I was like, guys, we're going to go play Iraq, we're going to do this, we're going to tour, we're going to go Europe, Japan, blah, 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 because I have all these connections. And all of a sudden, the funny thing is, you get in with a group of guys that are afraid of success, and they'll bail.
Right.
So that's what happened. These guys all bailed. So the whole band implodes, and the only guy left is the guitar player. Poor Ricky. And he's like looking at me like, what are we going to do now? So I said, I'm with you, man, because he writes great songs. He's a freaking unbelievable songwriter. And he and I kind of click, And so he was the main guy from Splinter, so he and I just started writing, and we stayed together, and for 2 years we just put this record together, and holy crap. I mean, we went through 3 bass players, 3 drummers. We finally got a bass player and drummer, Bo Hutchinson and Dave French, who are kick-ass, and we all get along great. Nobody's in the band is like Friedman or Dream Theater. There's nobody that's super, super phenomenal at each instrument, but we're just really good at just being together and just writing songs, and it's been phenomenal. And I've been very excited, and Bob knows it. I didn't call Bob for 10 freaking years. I was in several bands, but I never called him, never bothered him, knew how connected he was, knew how phenomenal a person he was,
right,
and didn't bother him. So when I did call, he took notice. That's why I'm here.
I gotta say one thing to you, Whiskey. I certainly envy you for being able to go 10 years without talking to Bob. I wish I could do that. Jeez.
I didn't get to talk to him, man. I just said we didn't work together.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Whiskey. The only reason I have any contact with Bob is because of all of his connections, because after 17 years, I could use any connection I can get.
He definitely has a good reputation in the business, so I know he's coming on the next hour, but he's been a good friend, and we've just stayed in touch and communicado for all these years. And there isn't a better guy on the planet in the music business, in my opinion.
Oh, there's better guys.
Oh, you hear that, Bobby? I know he's listening. Yeah.
Well, Whiskey, obviously I'm using this for the 8th time tonight, but, you're in Texas. You've got your new band, 33 Love Child. You're no spring chicken, as it were. Not that, guys and middle-aged guys can't rock. But where is your audience? Where do you see your audience being as far as, demographics or even worldwide? Where do you see 33 Love Child, gaining acceptance or popularity?
That's a good question.
Well, we're full of them. We're full of them, Whiskey. We're full of good questions. Just ask Justin Murr.
Yeah. That was awesome. And I'm telling you, I'll do a cover with Justin and Heartbeat. I mean, it was, it was heartbreaking for me to hear Janie sing. I did an album with Joey Allen from Warrant.
All right.
And so, it's kind of heartbreaking to hear that, but it was nice to hear him sing. It's kind of neat how a musician's life can live on,
Sure.
And you guys were really cool for playing that. That was really cool. But as far as the market, I don't really care. I'm at that age now where, I'm 47 years old. I've been around. I've been down the road. I just want to have fun. I just want to make good music and have a great time. And this band that I'm in now, affords me that opportunity to make my voice sound good. I'm playing drop C, so it's lower, so I can actually really get some balls into my voice. So it's, you know, as I get older, I mean, just like Robert Plant can't sing frickin' Lemon Song anymore. I mean, there's no, you know, you get older and you can't sing like you used to, but you can certainly transform and make whatever you're singing like sound good. And so Ricky's afforded me that in this band, and so I'm pretty excited. I mean, I did an album with the guy from Warrant, you know, Joey Allen, and I did an album with Jonas Hansen from Silver Mountain overseas. So I've got kind of a reputation overseas for sure. So I think we'll probably do pretty well overseas. Martin Anderson, I did a record and a video with him, who's the bass player for Lizzie Borden at the moment, and George Lynch. And I'm hoping he'll get us connected for some festivals next year out there in Europe. And they're playing in front of 10, 15, 20,000 people. We hope to do some USO stuff. And if we can get you guys to play our songs and hard radio, you know, Tracy Barnes, you guys probably know him.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, we're not fans of Tracy Barnes.
You're not, huh?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know him either. No, I do. I actually know him pretty well.
Well, give him a big fuck you from the Classic Metal Show when you talk to him next.
Oh, God, I don't even want to know what happened there. Thanks, Bob, for warning me about that, fuckhead. So, you know...
Yeah,
like,
Bob, you're nothing but a big a-hole.
Yeah, Bob.
I can't wait to hear the next hour with him. I really can't. But, you know, I mean, if we can get some press and stuff, what we're doing this year is we're giving away a Harley-Davidson, a 2013 Harley-Davidson, brand new.
Well, how does that work, Whiskey? Now you got me interested. How is it you got to the point to where you can give away a Harley-Davidson?
Well, basically, I've got your credit card number, fuckhead, and we just went and got us Harley on your credit card. So, no, seriously, what we did was we got sponsors, and we hooked up a deal with the Harley-Davidson dealership out here. And they're going to bring the Harley to our shows. They're going to rope it off. They're going to have the Harley girls there. And anybody that shows up at our shows gets a free lottery ticket. So you show up at our show, you get a free lottery ticket. You buy one of our pieces of merchandise, you get a free lottery ticket. So the more you see us, the more you buy, the more you pick up from us, the more you're there and a part of our band, the more chances you have to win.
Is it
an
883 Sportster, a chick bike, or what?
Yeah, it's an 883. Actually, it's the solid black kind. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like not really shiny, but it's kind of a black chalky looking feel.
Yeah, it's a flat black.
Yeah. And so we got that, and basically we're going to cart that around to the shows with us. We're going to do a regional tour through Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, and Louisiana. And anybody that shows up at our final show, hopefully at the House of Blues in November, and then we'll do the drawing. So basically, it's an enticement. You know, I'm from Hollywood, guys, so you know, I learned from the best how to do marketing. You know, there was bands out there that had 40-foot freaking cutouts on plywood that they'd put over the Roxy Theater or the Gazzarri Theater. You know, do you remember those days?
Yes, I was there during the height of the 80s, so.
And you'd be like, wow, holy crap, who's that? I mean, these are Poison wannabes, but, you know. I mean, so I learned how to market, and so I'm a businessman, you know, and I just decided, hey, if we're going to get people out to see us play, we got to give them a reason to come out because the music just doesn't do it anymore, guys. You know, there's so much crappy shit out there.
Sure.
And people just get tired of going out, spending a good evening of their time out to go hear bands that sound like everybody else or sound like shit, blah, 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 blah. So we're giving them a reason to come out and listen to us. And if they do, we're going to reward them at the end of the year. So
right.
Yes.
Marketing 101.
Excellent. All right, Whiskey, where can people find out about 33 Love Child, and where can they get your CD?
Well, the CD doesn't come out till March 16th, so you'll be able to go to 33lovechild.com when that's, after March 16th. But right now you can go to Reverb Nation. So Reverb Nation, www.reverbnation.com/33lovechild. And you can find out about us there.
Awesome.
And you guys are awesome, man. I love your show. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, it is like Christmas, isn't it?
Every day's like Christmas around the CMS, I'm telling you.
Right.
Well, Whiskey, why don't you pick a song from the album and tell us a little story about it to wrap this one up?
All right, why don't you play Bitch?
And why that one?
I don't know if I need to introduce this song or not.
Why? Because Bob's your bitch? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's my way of calling Bobby a bitch. You son of a... No. It's actually, I think, probably our second best song on the record. And, it's obviously a song about, damn it, girl. Leave me the fuck alone. So... But, you guys are awesome, man. I appreciate your time, and thanks for putting this on. I know you don't know me from Adam. I love your little comment at the beginning, hey, we're talking some big bands. Well, fuck you.
All right,
excellent. All right, well, we want to thank Whiskey for being part of the show, and we'll beat up Bob later for this. And, well, here's 33 Love Child with what, Whiskey?
Bitch.
Right here.
Oh, hey, by the way.
Yes?
Hand job!
Exclusively here on your Classic Metal Show.